Breaking news tonight, Ukraine artillery strikes Russia through frozen hell.
An absolutely incredible development.
Today is Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026.
And conditions on the ground are brutal.
For all of you who support Ukraine, freedom, and justice, subscribe to Defense Reports, your go-to source for timely, in-depth military and defense reports.
You won't want to miss what we have today.
I'm Alex. Join me in the latest program by Defense Report for the latest in global defense news, military technology, and strategic developments. And today we're going to cover
a masterclass in winter warfare.
That's right. We're talking about Ukraine's 44th Separate Artillery Brigade. They've just conducted a flawless counter-battery operation.
In the Zaporizhzhia sector of all places, wiped out a whole batch of Russian heavy guns.
And they did this in temperatures that are just almost unimaginable for combat. It plunged down to minus 15 degrees Celsius.
Minus 15? That's not just cold, it's a weapon in itself if you're not prepared for it.
So let's get into the details of the strike itself. We're talking about the destruction of Russian D-30s and M-B howitzers.
Soviet-era pieces, but still dangerous. Still deadly if they're not dealt with.
And the 44th knew exactly where to find them. They were using their Fourier reconnaissance drones.
And the Russians made a critical error, didn't they?
A huge one. They had their guns poorly camouflaged against the snow. It sounds basic, but in that stark white landscape, any dark shape is a target.
They basically painted a bullseye on themselves, and the Fourier drones would have seen them clear as day.
And we know the hits were good. There were massive secondary detonations.
Ah, so they hit the ammo depots right next to the guns. A classic mistake.
Confirmed kills. The entire position was just neutralized.
Which brings us back to that frozen hell you mentioned, that minus 15°C.
It's what they call a wet cold. It seeps into everything. It's not just uncomfortable, it changes the physics of the battlefield.
Right, the physics. I mean, cold air is denser. That has a real effect on artillery, doesn't it?
A huge effect. It increases drag on the shell. Every firing calculation has to be adjusted. Your old data is useless.
So the Ukrainians have adapted.
They've adapted. They're heating their drone batteries just to get them to launch. They're using specialized winter lubricants for the artillery pieces.
And the Russians?
Reports are coming in of widespread equipment failure. Frostbite is a serious problem in their forward positions. They just weren't ready for this.
It really highlights a technological and a doctrinal gap, which I think brings us to the hardware.
Exactly. Let's talk about the 2S-22 Bohdana.
Ukraine's domestically produced 155mm self-propelled howitzer, an incredible piece of kit.
And they're rolling them out fast. The latest figures show about 20 per month.
20 a month, that's a serious industrial capability. And it's all NATO standard, right?
All NATO standard 155mm. This gives them a massive range and precision advantage over the old Soviet systems Russia's using.
And Russia's trying to play catch-up. We're seeing their new 2S-44 Hyacinth K.
Which, let's be honest, looks a lot like a desperate attempt to copy the Bohdana.
It's a scramble, but it shows they know they're falling behind in the artillery duel.
And this duel has devastating consequences for their strategy, because the 44th Brigade is so effective at suppressing Russian artillery.
It means the Russian commanders are left with, well, very few good options.
They're forced back to their meat grinder tactics. They're sending infantry waves forward with almost no artillery cover.
Just sending men into the storm. It's horrific.
The casualty figures are staggering. We're hearing estimates of roughly 1,000 Russian casualties per day in these sectors.
1,000 a day, all because their artillery can't protect them.
Now, this battlefield success has to be seen in a larger context, a diplomatic one.
You're talking about the peace talks, the ones in Abu Dhabi.
Yes, they've been rescheduled for February 4th and 5th. This couldn't come in a more critical time.
So how does a successful artillery strike in the snow connect to a negotiation in the desert?
Because it's all about leverage. When Ukrainian forces can systematically destroy Russian rear logistics and artillery hubs,
it proves the front line isn't secure for them. It proves Ukraine can keep inflicting immense costs.
Exactly. It strengthens Ukraine's negotiating position immensely. It's not just about holding the line. It's about showing you can break theirs whenever you choose.
It sends a very clear message.
You've been listening to the Defense Report by Alex Stotzenak, where we analyze the latest in military strategy, global defense, and advanced weaponry.
An incredible story today.
Subscribe to Defense Reports, your trusted source for timely, in-depth military and defense analysis.
We'll see you next time. Keep supporting us so we can continue bringing you the latest developments from Ukraine and around the world.